The bulls are back as Bitcoin smashes past $97,000, and there's many reasons why. Because the era of state-led Bitcoin reserves has a rise, with Arizona being the first and now North Carolina being the second to follow. Even without a federal policy, every state can adopt their own, which is bullish depending on which state you live in. With the reserve, the state you live in could have a budget deficit or a windfall. Red and blue aside, you could live in an orange state, no pun intended for Trump. The Saylor strategy has done so well is increased its Bitcoin yield up to 13%. Now they have announced plans to up their stakes. They're looking to raise now $82 billion to buy more Bitcoin, $42 billion in equity, and $42 billion in fixed income. Woo, Saylor, let's go. One of the biggest institutional investors just left Ethereum for Bitcoin. They've lent out close to $1.5 billion across the two assets, and they are likening Ethereum to the meme coin behavior because they think the leadership has lost their North Star. I'm not telling you to buy or sell Ethereum. It's been the same price for the last few years. It is volatile. That's why they don't want to lend against it anymore. And Forbes did say Bitcoin may be the only institutional asset there is. Another reason things are on up and up is because regulation is underway and there will be more clarity soon. Robinhood notably has 43% of the profit from crypto trading, and that's before regulations has even rolled out. They are one of the first platforms to offer both crypto and stock trading, but they're not the last because Morgan Stanley has just applied a little bit late to the game to offer crypto trading for the users. The difference is they have a lot more users and customers. Robinhood, 5.2 million customers of over 360 billion in assets, and that's just Morgan Stanley. We're still waiting for Schwab, Fidelity, all the dinosaurs getting on this crypto game, and that's when the floodgates will really open. That's why MicroStrategy is looking to raise so much more money to get in before that does. All right, dinosaurs are getting in on crypto. Well, guess what? Crypto is looking to offer equities. Solana is proposing an issuance and trading of securities on the Solana blockchain itself. We've already seen this in the form of ETF and mutual funds, but let's talk about stocks. Let's go. Talking about stocks, Fold just rang the NASDAQ bell today. They are one of the first Bitcoin financial services being listed. Yes, there's mining companies and exchanges, but this is the first one focusing on Bitcoin. You can earn 2% Bitcoin rewards on everyday spend. Not financial advice. I'm not telling you to get his credit card, but a few of my friends do have them. I think you get the point. Traditional finance and crypto is seemingly smashing together at its head during these times, and there are a ton of opportunities. Probably the biggest opportunities is stablecoins for the big boys. And for little guys like us, we can arbitrage opportunities like this in the world of DeFi and make some sweet returns anywhere from 10 to 20% on your stablecoins, believe it or not. If you would like more on that, click on a link down below. But this is exciting news what's happening in stablecoins because they bring in a lot of money. I'm talking about billions of dollars. Like Tether brought in $1 billion in the first quarter of this year alone. That's a lot. And now they're launching stables into the United States as regulation becomes clear. This is going to help the US of A save a ton of money, but more importantly, it's going to help us make some money. Probably more importantly than that, it's going to bring clarity. There's a lot of fraud in the space, but if everything's on chain, it's a lot easier to track. And that's what crypto wanted to do. They wanted to, decentralization. They want the powers in the hands of the people, and now they're just becoming banks. But that's not necessarily bad because it's going to bring on a ton of liquidity into the markets and as it offers safer solutions for the average day user and more speedy transactions for global users, which I love. Okay, more the outside of the crypto world, DeFi is going strong still. If you know, I've been farming the Sonic platform. They're doing a close to 200 million Sonic airdrop. And Shadow, one of his dexes, is spotlighted on the Binance Spotlight, which popped the price up pretty well. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Shadow, a decentralized exchange, can offer you yield on your stablecoins. But on top of that, you can farm the 200 million Sonic airdrop, which is, as of today's price, about $100 million. Who doesn't love sweet yields? I do. I'm going to show you how to get yields on Bitcoin, as DeFi on Bitcoin is actually heating up. I can't get into that today. We'll talk about that next time. Over the meme coin world, a lot of things are happening, but the one thing that's hilarious is someone's deploying the Michael Saylor strategy, having a reserve of a specific token, but in this instance, it's the Trump token, and they raised $20 million to do so, which is hilarious because 80% of the meme token is not unlocked yet. So I'm not sure if this is a marketing gimmick or global relations, as this article talks about Mexico standing in the fight with United States, not against United States. So this is very interesting to see. It's probably not going to work out, but a lot of these are popping up. Solana did close to 2 billion in their strategy reserve. Raised close to 2 billion. We've seen with this happen with different meme coins, but first time with a Trump meme coin. Hey, my bags would like this. If you watched this far, then you are really a degen. And something that just dropped yesterday is something called Boop. Boop is a meme coin launching platform specifically for creators and degens, warriors, the trench warriors as they call them. So they have mechanisms for rewarding those people. More specifically, you're an active meme coin buyer or you're an active meme coin launcher, you will get more of the ecosystem rewards. That's pretty much what it boils down to. But let me tell you, there are life in these meme streets. We've been calling 130% winners in the last few days compared to the Bitcoin upside. So there's definitely a lot of alternate assets that you can get a lot of upside on. All right, to wrap things up, you know I love NFTs. Every single company will have one in the future. FIFA has announced they're launching their own blockchain for their digital collectibles, and their platform is called FIFA Collect. So they've been out and around for a long time now utilizing different EVM blockchains, but now they're going to create their own and migrate everything on there. There's a whole TLDR on it if you want to read more, but this is very exciting as we are seeing a big sports association really embrace Web3. FIFA being one of the biggest in the world for global eyeballs. I think the World Cup brings in more eyeballs than, the Super Bowl times 3 or 4 or whatever it is. In either case, there's never been a more exciting time than right now. Everything's coming crashing to a head. We didn't even talk about AI, which I will bring up for you guys next week because there is a meme coin collaborated with an AI robotics company that has launched not only an additional meme coin, but an actual physical robot for you to play with and earn some money. All right, you twisted my arm. It's called Floki. Check it out if you want. But if not, subscribe and follow along because we have 3 market updates for you weekly, rundowns, and great podcast guests. We'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good weekend.